This message is brought to you by Abercrombie Kids, where the activewear is made for every summer activity, so your mini-me can bring their personal best. Summer days are always an adventure, from day camp to rec leagues and pool days. Abercrombie Kids has the shorts, tees, and swim to keep them comfy and keep up with them. Get everything for the entire summer at Abercrombie Kids. Shop in-store, online, or in the app.
This episode is brought to you by Heyday. Feeling stressed? Take a moment for yourself with Heyday. Stroll through rows of golden wheat, tend to cute barnyard animals, and discover the joys of a digital farm retreat. You don't have to hop in a car or catch a plane. Escape to the farm at the tap of a finger. With Heyday, you're not just tending to a farm, you're tending to yourself. Heyday. Search Heyday, that's Hay space DAY, in your favorite app store. Heyday is a free-to-play mobile game and offers optional in-app purchases and random rewards.
Hi everybody, and welcome to the Dr. Psych Mom Show. Today I'm going to talk about when you over-respond with shock to something that your partner has done that you actually like them doing because you're being passive-aggressive. And this is a good episode to call you out and make you feel a little uncomfortable, which is hopefully some of why you listen to this podcast instead of one that is not challenging and amplifies your perspective because you actually want to learn and grow as a person, partner, etc. So people do this when they are very resentful that their partner doesn't do something more, and they don't honestly want to call it out. They aren't comfortable with direct communication, so instead they act passive aggressive. So what's an example? So you come in and your husband's folding the laundry and you say, "Oh my God. Oh wow. Oh, did you get off early from work? Did you get fired or something? Because you don't, it's great, but you don't usually fold. It's good, great. No, good." And then, of course, he's going to get mad and be like, "Why are you acting like I don't do anything around the house?" And he's going to say that. And then you could be like, "Well, usually, I just was surprised." And obviously that's super passive aggressive and it's going to make everything worse. Or here's another one where your wife gives you a kiss or a hug, or she puts her hand on your shoulder and you say, "Oh, wow, honey. Wow, why are you giving me such a big kiss? What did I do to deserve that? Wow, I just want to be able to do it again. I just want to know." Because usually, no, but it's great. No, thank you. No, yeah, it's great. And, these kind of things really do turn the person off to ever doing it again, because it's so obvious that what you are saying is you don't do this enough. So then I have to act like a starving person in the desert giving a glass of water for the first time. And it's very off-putting. And most of the reason it's off-putting is because it's so dishonest. And so this was likely done to you as a child, or you wouldn't do it. So, because people do it to their kids too if they're passive aggressive, right? So you come in and your kid is cleaning up their room and you go, "Oh, wow. Are you having a friend come over? What's going on? How are your grades? Are you trying to, no, it's great. Clean up your room, but I'm just curious because, I'm really just curious. I've asked you so many times to clean up your room, and now, out of nowhere, good, great, keep on going." And then, of course, the kid is going to stop or they're going to hate you, because you're trying to put on a show to indicate how upset you are with the norm, which is why this is so unusual. And what would be a more direct way to say it is, "Wow, thanks so much for cleaning up your room. Looks great. Oh, thanks for folding the laundry. Looks great. Oh, I love you too, sweetheart." Give her a kiss back. Just a regular sort of thing. Separately, so this is when they're doing something good. So why are you going to punish it by being passive aggressive? Only if you learned that in the home. Of course, I know why you do it. It's because you learned it in the home. And that's why people do all sorts of dysfunctional shit, which is what we talk about on this show all the time. But a better way to do it is when you're upset with the person about, for example, if your wife hasn't kissed you in 2 weeks, you could say, honey, I think we have to work on, our physical closeness. I feel like very separate from you, and I want to get back to where we're hanging out more and we're spending more time together. That's, of course, if you just try to kiss her and she doesn't kiss you. You know how many people don't try that, by the way, that they are or very anxious and insecure about ever asking for their needs to be met. So, for example, with the laundry, the woman doesn't actually ask him to do the laundry. She just does the laundry and sighs and rolls her eyes and acts martyred. He doesn't really notice, because he's not a hint taker. And I've talked a lot about who gives hints, and it's people who grew up in a home where you indirectly communicate, which is what I'm talking about. And so then he does the laundry and he gets punished for it because then she says that him doing the laundry basically reminds her that he never does the laundry. Or the woman feels punished because her giving him a kiss makes her have to listen to how she doesn't usually give him a kiss. So instead, why not say, can you help me with the laundry? Right? So that's the first thing. Or I'm doing the laundry, come help me. So that would be the laundry equivalent of just giving your wife a kiss, right? So a lot of guys don't even give their wife a kiss. They're waiting for her to initiate a kiss because they're too anxious and insecure to even try to kiss her. So they're very rejection sensitive and martyred about it, the way that the woman is martyred about the laundry here. And so then when the person actually does the right thing, you punish them. So then they're more likely never to do it again. So instead, how about you bring it up when they're not doing the right thing, after you've already tried to just get them on board using confident momentum. So confident momentum, and I've done podcasts and posts about this, would be like kissing your wife. That's confident. And then she kisses you back and you're kissing, or saying, come, let's do the laundry, right? So that's the best. If you've tried that and it doesn't work and your husband just says, no, I'm doing something else, or your wife pulls away from your kiss, then you can say openly and directly, I'm not happy with doing the laundry every time in this marriage, or I'm not happy with that you don't kiss me and I want to work on it. Now, if the person says no to that, then you say, we got to go to couples counseling. I don't feel like you're listening to me, blah, 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 right? All the stuff that I've told you in my podcast, how to convince your partner to go to couples counseling, and my other podcast, more ways to convince your partner to go to couples counseling. But either way, what you don't want to do is to punish the good behavior by making a whole song and dance implicitly that, they never do it, because that will really show them never to do it. And the worst part about this is how dishonest it is, because then when the partner says, you're making such a big deal out of this to show me that I never do it, you say, no, I'm just so happy with you, and I just want to know how I can ever get you to do it again, which is just a lie, 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 lie. And so if you've done this before, right, the way to help and fix it is to be like, I realize I am passive aggressive. I do respond in a passive aggressive way because I feel out of control. I don't feel comfortable asking you to do it, and or you've refused in the past. So the first one would be, I never even asked you to do the laundry, and having an epiphany about that. Or I've never even tried to just go up and kiss my wife, And you know how many people that applies to? A lot, by the way. And so that's the first one. The first level of change here is understanding what you bring to the equation of being too passive and not asserting what you want with confident momentum and a happy tone, which would make the person get on board, such as let's go do the laundry or giving a kiss, right? Then the next one would be to say, I have not been good at then, if you do say no to those things, saying that this is extremely important to me as part of the marriage, and so we want to work on it, or we have to go to couples counseling and talk about it since it's not working for me to say what I'm unhappy with. And then, only then, you can also say, when you do the things, I have been passive aggressive. You're right, I have. I've been trying to show how shocking and unusual it is instead of just enjoying that you're doing it. And I do that because I feel resentful and helpless. And this isn't just about you, like this is a lot of stuff from myself. I was not raised with direct communication. I was not raised with a family who split chores or with watching parents who kiss all the time. And I'm sure that this is correct, by the way, because the women who struggle with getting the man to do chores generally saw one parent act as the martyr who did all the chores. And the people who struggle with confident momentum in the physical and sexual arena generally saw a disconnected or just platonic marriage among their parents, right? So they don't have a template. And also, if you engage this way, then you had a passive-aggressive communication style implicitly shown to you in your family of origin. Otherwise, it wouldn't come so naturally to you to be passive-aggressive and basically guilt trip. It's basically like they did the right thing now, but you feel so rejected and hurt and bitter that you have to kind of assert control of the situation by showing that you're not their bitch, kind of. Like, it's not just like they're going to do something nice and you're going to respond nice. No, you are going to have to show that you do not just get happy when they do the right thing. It's more of like a power move. And it's saying, I am so unhappy and resentful and bitter that just this one thing is nowhere near enough to change the frame. I have to show you that the whole frame is wrong and that you doing this, quote, good thing is an outlier. And then I could reassert control of the situation and go back to the position of martyr. And this is not to say that the other person doesn't have their own things that they're bringing to this dysfunctional dynamic. Obviously they do, right? Because it takes two to tango, and I say that all the time. So generally they are the person who isn't doing enough or this or that, or isn't kissing enough or isn't doing enough chores or whatever. But the point is you got to focus on what you can know is an unhealthy communication style in yourself. And when one person comes forward and acts more honest and open and less passive-aggressive, then generally the culture of the marriage changes from one where we are, indirect. And by the way, the other person lies too, because in a marriage where one person is dishonest, usually two people are dishonest. They don't have to be dishonest in the same ways, but they are indirect, or they are passive-aggressive, or they are, pretend that they don't know what's the past. So it'll usually go like this. Oh my God, you're kissing me, sweetheart. What did I do to deserve that? And then she'll be like, oh no, I kiss you every day. No, she doesn't. She knows she doesn't, right? So just like that your response is going to be dramatic and start some kind of problem where you're trying to get, the message delivered that she doesn't kiss you enough. She knows she doesn't kiss you every day. So the both of you are being dishonest, and then the communication is terrible and sabotages any possibility of open or honest communication between the two of you because you're both lying to each other. So this is the sort of conversational style that would be called out in couples therapy, and the both of you would be coached to express yourselves more directly in a more honest way so you don't pass down more passive aggression through the generations to your children who observe this stuff, and so that you can have a healthier, more connected and honest engagement in the marriage overall. And so you might kiss your wife back. How about that? And kiss her back and look happy. Don't don't do the physical equivalent of the passive aggression, which I have a whole podcast about. Don't over respond when your wife touches you, so don't stop and look her in the eyes and start some big makeout session like in Gone with the Wind, Red Butler and Scarlett O'Hara. Kiss her back, be nice, happy, light, pleasant. That's the sort of people of both genders that are good partners. Light, pleasant, easygoing, agreeable. Agreeability is a big 5 personality trait, being agreeable, and that goes along with positive outcomes in every domain. So, some fearful avoidant people listening are like, that's being a doormat. No, it's not. It's going with the flow. The people who have a lot of friends and who don't get divorced, those people go with the flow, and their lives go better. And they go better at work. They go better with friends. They go better in marriage, everything. So if your wife kisses you or your husband does laundry, look happy and just engage. Don't look so happy that you faint from happiness, because that's what I'm telling you not to do in the first place. But just normal happy. If your kid cleans their room, say, oh, your room looks great. Don't say, oh my God, what happened? And so if you call out people all the time, then why would they ever change their behavior? And hopefully from listening to this podcast, you realize that you've been doing this subconsciously, A, because you learned it, and B, because you feel helpless and resentful. But there's another path called A, the confident momentum and responding, which can start to change the frame. If your wife realizes that if she kisses you, then she doesn't get that huge response that she hates of, oh my God, why are you doing this? Or your husband sees that when he does the laundry, he doesn't get scolded for not having already done the laundry and previously done the laundry implicitly by your massive shocked response in the way that I'm calling out here, then they may just start to do those things more, because it's associated with a positive outcome. All mammals have associative learning. This is behavior theory, And if a good reinforcing outcome happens, you're more likely to do the behavior again. Whereas if a bad, passive-aggressive, guilt-tripping, fake, lying response, like I'm saying, happens, then you're less likely to do the behavior again. That's basic behavior theory. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed this. As always, if you need a therapist or a coach, reach out to me on my practice, bestlifebehavioralhealth.com. You could always email me, Samantha@drpsychmom.com, and join my Facebook group, my secret Facebook group. It's great. It has lots of intellectual conversation in there. You could go to Facebook and subscribe, only $4.99 a month. So that's your cheapest option if you want more engagement. And I jump on all the threads and I comment. Not all the threads, but certainly like all the ones about relationships and where people are asking for advice. Anyway, it's a good group, and I'll talk to y'all soon. Have a great day, guys. Bye-bye.